Everybody likes a good SMG, but what have been the best SMGs? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're bringing back a fan favorite, the Every COD series. It has been a minute. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. If you want this to continue, let me know. We're going to start things off with the best SMG in every single Call of Duty game from COD 4 all the way to Black Ops 6. I like doing updates to these every COD lists before a new game comes out, so we can actually see where the community's opinions have shifted. So you let me know in the comments what every COD topic you'd like to see next, and also let me know if you're going to be playing Black Ops 7, or if you're going to be on a different COD game, or if you're going to be on Battlefield 6 or something else. Drop a like on the video, and here we go. First up is COD 4. Some people would have said the MP5 here. I'm going to argue the AK-74U had it beat. It kicked a little more, the muzzle flash was bright without a suppressor, but the damage was insane. Had a very impressive 2 to 3 shot kill range. It literally had the power of the AK-47 in the body of an SMG, and you could control that recoil. It would reward you. I think it's a perfect way to start this list. World at War. Gotta be the MP40. This is a no-brainer. World at War MP40 was busted. It hit for over 50 damage a pop without stopping power. Made it a 2-shot kill monster. And even if you were out of 2-shot kill range, it didn't matter. You're only gonna have to hit your target one more time to kill him. You didn't even have to run SP on it, which would have freed up extra space in your class for things like double tap, Juggernaut. I mean, this thing was a legend in the COD community for good reason. Modern Warfare 2 2009. The UMP45. Now, the Modern Warfare 2 UMP was basically just Infinity Ward's version of the MP40. Slow firing, bit bouncy, but it also had a 2-shot kill monster status, assuming you were using stopping power. By default, this thing would hit for between 30 and 40 damage, made it a 3 to 4 shot kill no matter what. But if you threw on SP, you could literally get 2-shot kills from across the map as long as you aimed high. An SMG that can 2-tap people from infinite range? Yeah, it's one of the best SMGs in COD history. No debate. Black Ops. The AK-74U. Now, you can ask anybody who played the game back in the day, they'll tell you the AK-74U is the only SMG worth using. The original Black Ops had a lot of SMGs, but the 74U was leagues better than all of them. Much like the COD 4 version, this was basically just a full-sized AK-47, but in the body of an SMG. But unlike the COD 4 version, Black Ops AK-74U could be turned into a laser beam with the foregrip attachment. Since the recoil was 100% vertical, it was really easy to stay on target and delete people from across the map. It's one of the best SMGs in COD history for sure. Modern Warfare 3 2011. It's got to go with the MP7. I mean, we're speaking of the best SMGs in COD history. There are still some people in the community who call this the best SMG in the entire franchise. I'm not mad. Not only did it have a huge default magazine and a high rate of fire, it had 0 recoil, it had really nice iron sights, and an insane damage profile. Up close, 3 shots. Across the map, 5 shots. Since this thing fired super quickly with a giant magazine and no recoil, you can probably see why it was such a popular choice. Modern Warfare 3 MP7 is an all-time fan favorite in the COD community. Even though we all knew it was a little bit overpowered, we were spamming it every chance we got. It was too smooth to put down once you got started. Black Ops 2. Scorpion Evo. Might be a hot take, and I actually had to think pretty hard about this because, of course, the MSMC made a really good case for being the best SMG in the game, but ultimately, Scorpion Evo was the only SMG in Black Ops 2 that people were demanding nerfs to, and I think that says something about the power rankings. This baby had the fastest default fire rate of any SMG in COD history, over 1,200 rounds per minute, killing 3 bullets. Gave it a time to kill that was literally impossible to react to. Now, the MSMC may have been a bit more versatile and reliable for competitive play, but in terms of sheer power, the Scorpion Evo had it beat. And if you were playing Black Ops 2 back in the day, you probably remember that a lot of people were calling the Scorpion to be nerfed, but nobody seemed to mind the MSMC. I mean, I think that's pretty telling. COD Ghosts. The MTAR-X. At one point, people may have said the Vector was the best SMG in Ghosts, but after that gun was nerfed, the MTAR-X rose to the top of the meta and it never came back down. It had it all. Quick, versatile, easy to control, look cool, amazing, both aggressive and more passive SMG playstyles. It didn't matter. The only problems with the MTAR-X were the god-awful iron sights and the relatively long reload animation, but both of those issues could be fixed with attachments and perks, at which point, the MTAR-X literally had no flaws. A lot of longtime competitive COD players would probably tell you this was one of the best competitive SMGs in the franchise. I agree. You may have hated Ghost, but there was something really nostalgic about the MTAR-X. Advanced Warfare. The ASM-1, the futuristic Tommy gun that completely broke the SMG meta. Solid fire rate, low recoil, super high damage, consistent 3 to 4 shot kill. You could get variants of it. It was busted on its own. We already know. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because every single one of you already knows the history. Black Ops 3. The XMC, the futuristic remake of the MSMC that was completely broken when Treyarch added it to supply drops. The gun was game-breaking at first, and then Treyarch nerfed it, but even after the nerfs, The XMC is just a better version of the MSMC. It's still one of the best, if not the best, SMGs in the game. Just too easy to use for how much damage it pumped out, and I still don't know why Treyarch decided to buff this thing like they did. The XMC was a melt machine in every scenario with hardly any recoil to speak of. So it was broken before the nerf and then after the nerf. Still the best SMG in the game. Infinite Warfare. The ERAD. Starting SMG in Infinite Warfare, not only did it have a solid following in the competitive community, but also had a super popular following in public casual matches, both in default form and the Cyclopean form. This laser gun had a solid time to kill, pretty manageable recoil. If you had the right variant, you could literally turn it into the proton pack from Ghostbusters with a constant stream of curving energy that would lock onto your enemies. It was annoying to go up against, but it was pretty clearly the best SMG in the game. Even if you weren't running the Cyclopean variant, the ERAD was a very powerful gun. COD World War II. The PPSH-41, SMG in the game on day one. Then a bunch of patches came out and DLC weapons were added, and now here we are 8 years later after the game came out. Still the best SMG? I've said many times this version of the PPSH was absolutely not historically accurate. It bothers me, but in terms of being a good video game, SMG at least, Sledgehammer nailed it. Fire rate, respectable. Recoil, takes a little getting used to, but that damage profile, woo! Chef's kiss. It feels responsive in literally every scenario. The time to kill was super consistent. In basically every gunfight you could get into. It would never let you down or give you too many hit markers. I mean, I'll forgive some historically inaccuracy if it means a gun is fun to use. Black Ops 4, the VMP. By far the most hated SMG in Black Ops history, I think. It was a DLC weapon that was a remake of the Black Ops 3 of the same name, the gun, but Treyarch decided to buff it into oblivion, probably so they could get more people to pay for it. Fire rate was good, damage was high, magazine was huge, recoil was non-existent, so what you had here was an SMG that was super easy to use and had the best time to kill in the game for close and mid-range while also having super competitive long-range time to kills. Treyarch eventually issued a patch or two for the MP, but it didn't matter. Black Ops 4 absolutely, players, they hated it. They hated it. Modern Warfare 2019. The MP5. This gun changed the reputation of the MP5 forever. Up to this point, it was a standard but iconic SMG that appeared throughout the franchise. But in Modern Warfare 2019, the MP5 became one of the sweatiest weapons in COD history, and it's still holding on to that reputation. Versatility, this gun was amazing. The damage was great, the recoil was low, and the sheer number of attachments made it incredible for fine-tuning any number of playstyles. This is still the best MP5 in COD history if you ask me, even if I hated going up against people using it. Black Ops Cold War. The AK-74U. Now, the balancing in this game was pretty good. For a while, the Tech 9 was the best SMG in the game, and now that it's been nerfed, I would say the AK-74U, a little hard to get used to for the recoil. I think you needed a decent number of attachments to get it working in your favor, but once you locked in with a good build and figured out the recoil pattern, I think it was pretty good. Time to kill was just too good to walk away from. It hit like a truck, kept you moving super quickly, and it was one of the most popular guns in the game for both competitive and pub stompers. Vanguard. The MP40. Vanguard actually had some pretty solid weapon balancing by the time the year ended, which is crazy to say because the balancing was horrible at first because of the STG and the PPSH dominating every gunfight. But following all the patches, the MP40 is probably the best SMG in the game, even though basically any gun can be made viable with the right build. The Vanguard MP40 is just reliable all around. Fire rate was solid, damage consistent, recoil not too strong, and there's a long list of attachments that can make up all the strengths even stronger without sacrificing much. I think it's the right choice. Modern Warfare 2 2022. Cast off 74U. Yet another AK-74U on the list. Go figure. The 2022 version of the 74U was once again the best SMG in the game because of the power. There was no drawbacks once you got used to the recoil. It was completely banned from competitive matches because of how quickly it melted people and how quickly you could move with it, which meant it was hands down the best gun in the game for a competitive environment, as well as public matches. Definitely the best SMG in the game. I don't think there's an argument or a debate to be had. Modern Warfare 3 2023. Static HV. Now, there's some really good SMGs in this game, but I think the last DLC SMG to be added is probably the best, even though the game is pretty well balanced overall. The Static HV had this bizarre super compact design that made it stand out visually, but it also had a huge 50-round default magazine, high rate of fire, low recoil, clean iron sights, and a very quick time to kill. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of the original PDW from Black Ops 2 before it was nerfed. I mean, this has a quicker fire rate though. That weird magazine gives off those vibes, and both guns were strong at mid-range and well as close. Now the PD, like I said, the PDW was nerfed. The Static, still one of the most popular guns in Modern Warfare 3. So give it a try if you haven't. It's a little difficult to unlock, but it's worth the grind. Black Ops 6. Jackal PDW. Now, BO6 has been up and down in terms of weapon balance, but I've heard it's in a pretty good place right now, and the general consensus seems to be that the Jackal has reclaimed its place at the top of the SMG power rankings. During the Black Ops 6 beta, the Jackal was busted. Treyarch did have to issue a few nerfs to it during the first couple months of the game's life cycle, but I mean, it is what it is. It let some other SMGs shine through, but now that the dust is settled and everyone's about to move on to Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6, I think it's safe to say the Jackal was the best SMG all along. Super versatile, even though it took a little bit of effort to use properly, had a really good set of strengths that made it perfect for almost any player as long as they weren't expecting laser beam. And there you have it, my friends. That's the best SMG in every single Call of Duty through history. See you soon.